Welcome back to SBS Live this week for a much less bearded 2013. Last year you learned about some beardage and how to manage a big giant, I don't know what to call that, moose on my face. This year we're going to learn about growth, and we're going to track this thing from the beginning to the end, so you get to see it in a couple of days of its glory here right now at all its no stubble, and the fact that my head is actually only about 4 inches big in total. Don't be dirty. Anyway, we're here with a new edition, new episode, new pretty much anything you can imagine. New additions to the studio, we've got new equipment, we've got, Christmas was good, let's put it that way, and hopefully it was good for you guys too. To start the year off right, we've got Tyler, Alex, and Dakota from a band called Overdose. Now these guys are young punks, and they're using a style of music that, well, at least myself grew up with. Sadly, I got rid of the beard, but I brought in the plaid because these guys are a grunge act that are really looking to bring that sound of the 90s back to the current here, now in the present day. So to loosen them up, here in the studio we had a beer with Overdose. We grilled them on all kinds of questions about the relevance of grunge in today's world. We talked to them a lot about the older style of music, the days of Kurt, and the days of Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. What happened to that music? Why did it go away? Why was it replaced with Top 40? And maybe most importantly, is it a style of music that we can actually bring back to the forefront today? Are there enough fans out there that are still looking to listen to this kind of music? And never mind that, but is there enough passion in what a band like Overdose does to bring it back? So when we get started on SBS Live this week here in 2013, we're going to answer all those questions. And of course we're going to make sure that we put the chains on Overdose until they give us an exclusive performance that of course you guys haven't seen out there. And well, let's just say I know the people that run this show, so I can already tell you that there just might be 2 songs that you're definitely going to want to stick around for and make sure that you see. What can I say, music fans? We're happy to be back. We're happy to be back for another year, and we're happy to be back here in 2013 at Sleeping Bag Studios, and we're ready. We're ready to do this right one more time, bring you a bunch of new local acts that you've never heard of, people that deserve some attention. So stick with us for throughout the year. We'll see lots of you and you'll see lots of us here on SBS Live this week. On SBS Live this week, we are having a beer with Overdose. Thanks for being here, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, appreciate
Our pleasure.
it. Yeah. So you guys are obviously a pretty young band. Give us a
19, 20.
19, 20?
Yeah.
Okay. So give us a young perspective on the music industry. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys heading into?
Well, basically right now, we're just trying to break into Vancouver. We're trying to get a thing going with the Railway Club that we visited last week. I got a couple other young bands from Richmond who we're trying to recruit to make a bill, you know?
Yeah.
Other than that, we're just shipping our demos around, just trying to get in there.
And how did this become what it is? Like, how did you guys decide that this was going to be the dream?
That's a good story. Holy crap. Alex, remember that one, man?
Well, yeah, it all started in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Math class.
In math class? I've never heard of a band started in math class that's, or at least in your genre anyway.
Yeah, it all started with brainstorming names and what we were going to play first.
I'll go from the very beginning.
Give me the real.
Okay. Alex and I are in drumming class. You know, like African drums, the djembes and stuff. Love that. We're like, we were pretty decent at it.
Okay.
And he was talking about, school's the annual Battle of the Bands thing. And he was saying, I'd really like to play in that. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to as well.
Right.
And I just asked him one day, you want to be in a band, man? You want to teach me how to play guitars? He actually taught me how to play guitar.
So
I've only been playing for a couple of years.
You agreed to be in a band before you even do what you do now.
They hadn't heard me sing it, and I'll be honest, I sucked.
Okay.
But you know what? They were still nice. And then we asked Dakota that afternoon in math class, hey, you want to be the drummer for our band, man?
Really?
Okay.
To be honest, I hadn't had a whole lot of experience at that point. Like, honestly, the closest, like, other than just, like, trying to fiddle around with what I could really just come up with at that point, it was really, to be honest, it was just a whole lot of rock band.
Right, okay, all right. But, I mean, at the end of the day, prepared you enough.
Totally. Like, I've come, like, the whole band has come huge strides since the first couple of songs we played.
Much improvement. It's amazing.
From the first show, it's just, like, it's like a whole different tier.
How long have you guys been together now?
It's 2.5 to 3 years.
2.5 to 3 years.
It was February 2010. We actually were like, let's be a band.
Okay. And so now I guess at the end of the day, you're bringing the most of the actual musical know-how? Is that the best way to put it?
Me?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Well, I mean
at the beginning kind of thing, like when.
At the beginning.
He knew the most theory, definitely.
Yeah,
he'd actually played guitar for about 5 years.
Yeah, and also piano before that. So I know a lot about musical theory.
Yeah. Right. And how does that kind of play into what you guys do now? Do you bring any of that into what you do, or is it more just of a jam thing now?
What do you mean?
A lot of the time we jam out some things, but most of the time there's a little bit of a bass to it. Like, I've gotten into writing structures of songs, and I've used a couple of the structures I've written out to form a couple of the songs. Tyler likes to do the lyrics and the melodies and things like that with the guitar. And
I like to write what I sing.
Then Alex just kind of rocks out in his own little way.
He's really great at making solos.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, Alex. At the end of the day, I'm wondering, like, if you're, as the musical theory guy, I'm wondering, are you sitting there with the pen and the pencil and writing out an Overdose song, or is it more of an organic kind of jam thing?
I would say
usually he and I will make up the melody together, and I can do the lyrics and stuff, and he can put the notes together because he knows what he's playing.
Yeah.
Whereas I was like, hey, power chord, yay.
Right, okay, yeah. But they fill in, right?
Yeah, you know what?
You need them just as much.
When I first wrote our song, our very first original called Mind Friends, I honestly didn't know what the hell I was playing.
Right.
I was like, hey, this sounds cool.
And you have a clip of that on Reverb Nation, right? Is that right?
We're about to. I just got to convert it to MP3.
Okay. Cool.
That'll be really soon.
Now, again, as a young band, there are many older bands that have said throughout time, say take the Stones or something like that. Somebody super ancient that their bones are basically made of dust, that old. They say, when this whole thing started, I didn't realize I was going to end up spending more time with this guy, and this guy than I might with my wife or my family. You guys ready to spend that much time together? Like,
I love these guys, man.
We're good friends.
All right,
Yeah, we're pretty good friends.
So for 70 years straight, coming up here, right to the retirement home, you guys are good.
This guy makes me laugh every time I see him.
Well,
he always does
same
something.
with you guys, though.
Something either hilarious or stupid. It's just something.
Right.
It makes me laugh. So you know what? Never get tired of him. This guy keeps it going. I'll never get tired of these guys.
Nice.
Yeah, these guys are the best.
Let's talk music for a second. How would you describe the music of Overdose?
90s grunge punk.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
I
You
like.
guys feel the same way?
I try to actually be I don't know if there's really a distinction between grunge drumming and rock drumming, but I try to keep it actually fairly rock.
He keeps us, like, he's, you know, we're into different stuff. Alex and I are into that 90s, that punk, that Nirvana, that grunge type stuff.
It's not that I don't like that, though.
No, it's not that you don't like it, it's just you're more that type of Rush and Zeppelin.
Yeah.
So, you know, we get that mix into our band as well.
Dakota, when you say that as a drummer, like, how do you mean you keep it more rock rather than grunge? There's a very similar kind of style between the two for drumming.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I wouldn't even really know how to describe it at this point. Like, I don't
on the spot, man.
I don't really know exactly. I don't know enough about drumming theory to really like
nail down what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know. It just feels. It feels different than, like, I know if I'm playing a beat that like kind of fits what these guys are playing a little more, and when I'm playing something that's a little bit out there.
Right.
For what they're playing.
Something that might be a stretch for these guys, kind of.
It's like playing jazz fusion. Back in the day, everybody thought it was the craziest thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You are the craziest thing.
You should see some of Dakota's fills on his drums.
Yeah.
Like there's one in our demo actually.
Fill out of nowhere, and like in the middle of like the verse or something, and he'll just do this.
You know what? He's so good at coming back into the time. We're like, what the hell are you doing, man? And you're right back into the time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever.
I like the really big fills.
So I think we've learned as me as a guitar player that just to keep the beat going, and no matter what Dakota's doing on drums, just he'll come back in at
we're really the biggest thing about us is the chemistry. We're so in tune with each other.
Yeah.
Well, it gives it an interesting dynamic that way, right? Because not a lot of bands can feature a drum spot as a lead.
I was gonna say there's just so many bands nowadays that just like it's like right in the background. It's just the background. That's
15
it. Like
feet behind the rest of the band.
Yeah, like the most you might do is a little pickup fill in the middle of the song. Honestly, like
it's starting to go the way of the guitar solo, right? Like it's just disappearing.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of spotlight on it. So if you guys are aware of that and you're helping bring that back,
it's probably something to say. Music to me is, you know, I've written most of our songs. He's written one of them all himself.
Okay,
but most of them.
High five.
And just it's what you're feeling, what's in your soul. Just write it down and you just play it. Most of my songs come out on the guitar first, and I add lyrics to them as to what mood I'm in, what I'm feeling.
Okay.
There's just not enough of that today.
Right. Now that song that, I'm going to pick on it for a second here. The song that you wrote, is that a song that you sing as well, or do you sing that one time?
He sings it.
I sing it, but you know what? I listen to his lyrics, and I believe in what the lyrics are to that song. It's called Beauty Queen.
Right, okay.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Really good song.
And again, there's a clip of that on one of your sites. Yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm listening to this stuff. I know there is. So when it comes to that, like, did you find, like, was it important for you to believe in what he had written?
Yes. Okay. I had to read his lyrics and know where they were coming from.
Right.
Usually I'll only, like, I know he's had friends and stuff who've offered to help me write lyrics and stuff, but it's not me then.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
If I'm singing it, I gotta be the one who's believing in it.
I would think.
I just sing random crap.
Yeah. Difficult to sing what somebody else is.
I believe every song should have a story behind it.
What kind of things are you drawn to lyrically? Like, what do you find that you're writing about?
Mostly depressing stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're not. That's only when we're jamming and not really, you know.
It's kind of more like.
But that's the style of music that you're playing, right? Like if you're going for the grunge,
it is
let's face it, they had
what
Molly's Lips was about as positive as it got. Like I mean, it's not really a happy genre.
No, yeah, a lot of it is a lot of anger and dissent and contempt is what I felt for.
It's just a lot of social issues, basically.
Like okay. I just wrote a recent song called Stubborn. You know what? I just came up with it and I was on the fucking SkyTrain.
Yeah.
So many people around and they're just walking off and on and off and just,
like zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like zombies in the song. I was like, I'm writing a song about this.
Right. So now when it comes to that, I mean, you're seeing a lot of those out there, and there are a ton in Vancouver. We know this. Some of those guys are going to turn out to be fans. You know what I mean? Like, how is it that you, are you able to kind of separate the two? Are you able to figure out who's going to be a fan of Overdose just by kind of like mile away taking a look?
We can't control who our fans are, basically.
Yeah. We've got a lot of people who come to our shows who come to our shows and say they like our music quite a lot, and they really do look like they enjoy it. But it's just the personalities of the people. They don't seem as genuine as you'd like to admit, I guess. But really, a fan's a fan in the end. So
we deal with that a lot in our industry. It's not a very favorable industry in terms of being genuine and real, right?
You know what? We write songs about that and jokes on them.
Yeah, we always hear about the music industry.
Yeah, woohoo.
Absolutely.
Hey, guess what? We're making fun of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Tongue in cheek, you gotta love it. I know the answer to this one already because I've read the bio and stuff, but for people that don't know you, who would you guys say that you compare your sound to? Who do you sound most like?
We've been called post-grunge before.
Okay.
Basically when I first started, the only band I listened to was Nirvana, so that's obviously who I tried to base my music off of. You know, that's very simple riffs, but catchy.
Yeah.
And same thing with the melody and the lyrics and all that, talking about society and how we feel about that.
Why do you think that worked so well for him? Like, why did that resonate with people so much?
Because I think everyone can relate to it.
Right.
Because everyone sees today's society, and so I think a lot of people do have negative...
There's also that time, though. That decade, basically.
A lot of people have...
Really good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Like, a lot of people have, bad experiences that they can relate to Kurt with. Like, he might not have sung about a lot of the problems that he had, but he definitely had quite a few of them, and people could relate to that. As little as their problems may have seemed in comparison to his, they would have related it to exactly that, even if...
Still sounds the same through those lyrics, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They're still talking about
it.
Yeah. It's good that they can personalize that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that, is it reasonable to think that, because, I mean, you guys obviously, you have your ear to the ground, you're young people, you know what's going on. Like, as far as what's out there on the radio today, it's not grunge.
I don't listen to the radio.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But is it feasible? Is it reasonable to say that grunge could make its way back to being kind of at the forefront of what people listen to?
If it can relate to what people need, then it can. So we just gotta, basically all we gotta do is work our way back into this music scene. And just develop a following. That's what we gotta do.
Like, I don't know exactly what people might be singing about nowadays, but like,
nothing,
it's obvious.
Basically.
Half the crowd is auto-tuned anyway.
It's definitely relatable to, as far as other people are concerned. So they must be able to draw something from it, like Nirvana.
Right. Now, when it comes to auto-tune and electronics, and your bio again mentions that you guys support basically real instruments making real sounds.
Yeah.
Is that like a backhanded slap to electro, or what's the deal there?
A little bit.
Okay, so there's no room whatsoever in Overdose's music for...
Not for us, personally. I understand there are some people who like that. You know, if you like it, you like it.
Personally, I could say that maybe a couple synth pads.
Right.
With a couple hilarious sounds. Just ruin the songs, you guys. Well, obviously some tasteful stuff.
How about this? Make the distinction between, like, say, a guitar pedal and, like, an electronic piece of help in some sort of a song. Is there really that much of a difference?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
The only thing that I like is that the guitar pedal makes it sound differently, but you gotta have the skill to play it.
So you still do have to have the ability to press it while you're playing.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Really to press the pedal. Yeah, definitely.
Come on, guys, to stand up.
Let's just meet the main thing that comment that you saw in the bio, which I'm very glad you read, thank you, that was geared toward were the people who really, they don't write their own songs, they can't, they don't need talent, they're basically being marketed for their appearance, just
what's
the
on the radio is going right to these
and it's just they auto-tune their voices so that you don't even know what the hell they sound like. That's what that comment was basically geared towards. Mainly. Not so much the synth pads, I know that.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that
okay, I
listened to a couple of, like, not like gone out and listened to a couple of the female singers nowadays, but I've just heard a couple of them over the radio. Like, it used to get played in like just random stations in the car, right? But like,
you talking like R&B or soft?
Yeah,
soft
a little bit. Okay. Just like, it was like a roller coaster, honestly. Like, there was really no rhyme or reason to what they were playing. But like I heard at least three songs that sounded the exact. Well, they didn't sound the exact same. The singer sounded the exact same. Right. It's like they've taken like Beyonce's or like Rihanna's voice because they might be able to actually sing at some point. Right. And they've like just like dubbed that over everybody's voice to make it sound better, like an auto-tune. Yeah. I noticed that a lot. It's just like, if you honestly can't notice that is you singing anymore, then why are you using that?
Yeah, exactly, right. And especially, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of tragic to see people that are out there like Beyonce or like Christina that actually do have talent. They can sing. Yeah, yeah. And then they still rely on that, or they're using it just because it's
really weird. We think all today's music is crap. There are some pretty talented people out there still. Yeah, yeah. Just
gotta dig for them a bit more, right?
It doesn't make sense. It's like they use their talent for a little bit to like get noticed, and then after they've gotten noticed and gotten the funds and gotten the resources and things like that, they just crap out and then just start lazing around all day and just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sing like but let's make it like you know what I mean?
Finding the easiest way to keep that money coming in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
My biggest thing has always been write your own music. Right. Like,
so that's if you can't, honestly, I think that if we, I think if you don't really feel good about your music and you're still making shitloads of money off of it, but you don't feel like it comes from the heart, right? I wouldn't even want that.
There's no point in that.
I'd want the music. Yeah, there's no.
What a good thing to say is though is that like, even if you don't believe in what you're playing, it isn't a good idea to just quit on it right away, because it is good to work up a little bit of like ability in order to do your own thing. You know what I mean? Like that's what Paul Gilbert did. He played with I think it was like Big B or something like that for a while until he got the resources in order to record his own stuff, right? And now he's got like 8 albums or something. Yeah. And people love him. He's huge in Japan.
Big in Japan.
Yes, I know.
I know.
You gotta love that state.
Also, it doesn't matter where you're.
I don't know. I like Paul Gilbert.
If you're big somewhere, then that's good.
Then you're big.
Yeah. Like even if he played with Big B for a while, he's still really good. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. When it comes to that, like maybe not the money being important, but how important is the recognition or the fame aspect of what you guys are heading into?
Well, I'll be honest. I want people to know what we're doing.
Sure.
We're always. That's what we're trying to do. Break into the scene. Right. Get people to notice us. So.
It's nice to get some honesty on that question for a change. That's good.
Well, it is.
I could say we're not.
I don't want to just play and not.
Right.
You know, it's great and all. Great to say. You know, oh yeah, I sound great. You know.
Yeah.
I just want to play. I don't care if anyone hears me. Well, yeah, everyone does secretly.
Exactly.
It's nice I can definitely say we're not exactly Kurt Cobain in this whole thing, but like there is a point where I could say, I think we're a little too famous. But I honestly don't think we would reach that point.
You got a while to go before you get there.
Yeah, exactly. There's and things would change between now and then.
We get out of Richmond first.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong here, gentlemen, but we've got guitar, we've got drums, and then... Right. No.
The bass
so what's going on with bass again?
Okay.
He's been playing bass lately.
Yeah.
What used to be... Okay, I'll tell you this story. Used to be lead guitar, rhythm and vocals, and drums, and we've had 2 different bass players who just didn't really work out with us. They weren't. It's the chemistry basically.
Okay.
We sort of found that we would rather be a power trio.
Yeah. The 3 of us I don't know how else to describe it other than chemistry.
Okay.
We just know each other.
Yeah.
So
it just didn't feel right with fourth guy.
So the reason we put bass in was that at this one show, we were getting judged. Which, we try to do that every so often, battle the bands type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So one guy said, you guys are good.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was an actual
you guys are
critique.
good,
So.
but you know what? You need that bottom line in there.
Right.
So he's better at guitar than me. Like I said, he taught me. So obviously. So I said, okay, you know what? I'll switch to bass.
Okay.
I love guitar, and I still write riffs and write music for us and stuff, but you know what? I'll switch to bass and then give us that bottom riff.
Right.
So that's where that came from.
When it comes to like your upcoming show that you guys are playing, you've got one on February 10th, I believe.
Yeah, at the Rickshaw Theater.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm looking forward to that one.
And now are you playing bass when it comes to something like that?
I will be, yeah.
You will be? Okay. Very cool. What can we expect from a live Overdose show? What's coming up?
I can...
You taking this one? You got this?
Lots of energy.
Okay.
Lots of just...
Okay.
You know?
Can you spell that for me?
A lot of R's.
You don't have to spell that. Okay.
Yeah.
And when, like, in terms of, like, set list, like, what's going on there? You guys got a long set? How long do you guys get to play, do you know?
We got about... Yeah, me, thanks. We got about 20 minutes or so is what we were told.
Okay.
It's another one of those events, though, where I'm just sort of realizing right now we kind of got to get away from. You know, it's an event we're going to sell tickets for and stuff like that.
Okay.
To be honest with you, we're musicians, not promoters.
Right.
Like, I know we got to promote our own stuff, promote ourselves and stuff, but in the end...
It ends up feeling like you're the hot dog vendor kind of thing for your own.
Yeah, which is why I'm hopefully trying to get this railway club
We feel like
going.
we're being used.
Fair enough.
A little bit. Like,
But you know what? No, I'm not going to bash the show, you know.
Yeah.
They're going out there at least.
Is there an
trying to make this.
expectation in terms of how many you have to sell? Or
Yeah,
like,
we got to
is
sell like 20 tickets, 25 tickets,
The
something like
only
that.
problem
They give us an
with
online link to use. You can use your credit card.
it- Oh, really? Wow.
yeah,
Check us out.
The only problem with
You're getting that, right? Easy to get.
The only problem is that these shows that we've been getting from the site at Supernova, they've been really like subpar for. It's not like they're subpar for almost anybody else too.
Okay.
It's really weird. It's like every show we've asked, like we have a little bit of a problem selling tickets because the only people we really have the only people we really have to sell tickets to are younger people, which aren't really our demographic. Really.
And at the end of the day, it's not.
Yeah,
It comes back to we haven't broken into the club scene and stuff like that, which we can finally now go into.
Absolutely, yeah. You guys got lots of room to grow in terms of that. I can
That's
understand
you
it's
know what?
frustrating now for sure, but you guys will see it build for sure. Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. You know what? It's being kind of my fault a little bit. I've been looking for the quick fix, you know. At this show, this next upcoming show at the Rickshaw, it was told like, oh yeah, there'll be a label representative from Warner Brother Records there and judging you guys and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you mentioned.
So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's just make it without having to really do any work.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So you know what? It's just not going to be like that.
But you know, if it was to be like that, and I guarantee you're gonna agree with me on this, Alex. But like, am I wrong? If it was that easy, they're gonna musically cornhole you, for lack of a better term, are they not? Like they're gonna basically find a way to take that creativeness, some of the freedom that you guys have as independent artists. And I don't know. Do you guys really necessarily feel that the industry is something you need? Honestly.
No. I don't, personally.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes and no a little bit.
Right.
Like, well, actually, now that I think about it, the industry really isn't all that important. I mean, you can get by playing shows at bars all day, but like, that would take a lot of effort promoting yourself and doing all that thing. So like.
But in terms of, like, say, maybe the internet's reach nowadays in terms of that, as opposed to traditional old CD sales.
It's a lot more helpful.
Yeah.
Like, and rather than, like, going out and handing flyers out to people you see on the road, like, you can just, like, put up an ad on I don't know, like Twitter or Facebook or something, and then like thousands of people will see it rather than the like 50 you'll see in the 2 hours you spend at the corner of a road.
The big reality to that was like the closing of HMV in Richmond. We had the the CD store.
Yeah, there's a downtown.
They just can't compete with all the MP3s online. You can just make your own.
Oh yeah, the big one's gone.
Yeah, the downtown HMV closed too. It's getting harder and harder to find CDs and stuff.
Right.
It's all internet MP3s.
If you ask me where do you go to buy CDs in Vancouver, I don't
There's
know.
like
I don't know.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, I would have to think about it at the very least now. Like at the very least, I'd be scratching my head for a couple of minutes for sure.
Like a rock shop and Zulu.
Zulu's the only one I was, off the top of my head.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
Zulu's not even just Zulu anymore. It's like Zulu and half something else now.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So when it comes to that, like, and say maybe doing merch for your shows, I don't know if you guys do merch already.
We're not at that stage yet.
You're not at that stage.
Really.
Fair enough. But would CDs be an angle that would you even waste your time, or would you just go straight for?
I'd still do that.
Well, we get some done definitely, but probably not as much as traditional artists would do like a couple of years ago, because the MP3 thing is so big nowadays, and like if you can find it anywhere on the internet, you can probably download it. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like it's
you see those kids who make it on YouTube. Oh, a day they're sensational. All of a sudden they got 2 million people following them.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, but what?
one thing I see about talent nowadays though is that it doesn't last long. I mean, like you'll see a new artist on the radio. Talking about like pop artists, like top 40. It doesn't last long. It's like they have 1 or 2 hits and then they're gone. Nobody notices them after that.
So, I mean, what does that say about fame in general? Is it even worth pursuing? Or like the idea of the longevity of it, is that worth pursuing?
That's what I've realized now, that you gotta start early, and you know what, you gotta go through all the shit. You gotta develop a following. That's how you stay.
You end up getting that story behind you.
You gotta work through it. You can't go for a quick fix. It's just not gonna work.
A lot of people can do that, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who've got like that one-hit wonder in them, you know what I mean? But like, they really don't have the ability to kind of like keep the longevity that like Pink Floyd or Rush would have, you know what I mean? Like, they've been going for like 50, 60 years now.
Yeah, he's a 60s, 70s guy.
Again, right? Bones older than dust in those guys, but they're still going.
It's incredible.
Like,
fan base they have is amazing.
Ginger Baker, he's like 80 now, and he's still, like, I can't even believe it. I love the guy. He's awesome.
So you're obviously fairly well versed in music in general.
A little bit. Yeah, I'm a little more well-toned.
I'd say he's probably more than us too.
These guys a little bit.
Okay, fair enough.
We know the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm a little more open-minded about
and all that. Like, that's what we love. That's
the people I based my beard on. I know exactly
what you're
talking about.
But this guy, he knows more of a selection, so he keeps us, hey, let's not just be a Nirvana cover band, man.
Right.
Let's do
I've got a drum teacher, and he's fairly old, so he can introduce me to all of these like older things. Like there's this great drummer, Joe Morello from Take 5, or there's a drum solo in the song Take 5.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just incredible, the one-handed rolls he does. I don't even know how I can't even comprehend doing that. So
isn't it like that though at the beginning? So many of the pieces of drums
just seems
feel
like
like there's no way.
It's with any instrument.
There's no way. Exactly. I think so too, for sure. Now, how do you feel about that when it comes to bass? Because personally, I felt by the time I got around to bass, I started guitar. I went drums. I ended up bass.
God, I'll be honest with you. No, I started guitar.
Right.
Bass, basically, I only know how to play the root notes right now. I'm still a guitarist at heart.
But did you find like it was an easy pickup after?
Oh, very easy.
Right.
Very easy after guitar. It's just, power chord, root note. There we go.
Right. So we also talked about the online thing. You're online right now. Live tweeting.
No, I actually fucking hate Twitter.
Just check my phone.
But it's a necessary evil, though, right?
Hey guys, we're just doing an interview with Sleeping Bag Records right at this very moment.
Absolutely.
Sleeping Bag Studios. Get the name right.
Know, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm going outside to have a smoke, and then I'm going to the bathroom. And
guys, I took a big shit. Oh my god.
So you can see, it's important to stay connected. how
it is with nowadays with the internet and all that. You know, like we were talking about before.
a lot of time? Like, I mean,
I do.
You hate Twitter, but are you on Twitter?
No.
Like, is it? And
I refuse to go on Twitter, but Facebook and Reverb Nation and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, how are they different? Why? Just out of your own opinion, why is Twitter the hated one?
Reverb Nation seems like the music site.
Okay.
And just the artist music on there, so that's where that comes from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Just to interject, to be honest, I've actually not heard of...
That's what he told me before this whole thing started.
Sorry there, buddy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Maybe I should just do that before I interject. Anyway, I actually never, like, personally heard of a lot of the sites that he's posted us on, which I like.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, there's more unique people that would populate those sites, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of people on Twitter and like
you get the
MySpace or things like that are just like
couldn't figure out
cookie cutter people almost. You know what I mean? I don't really want a lot of those people as our fans. Personally, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really want cookie cutter people as fans.
You know what? But like we said before, fans are fans.
Yeah, I'd like fans to put in
when we're in this stage,
useful input though.
Fans are fans.
Exactly. Right?
We need fans.
Yeah, and it is. It's going to be tough. You guys are going to go through all kinds of crazy evolutions as a band. You're going to have different sounds that are going to appeal to.
We just want people to know what we're doing and what we're about.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why, the more people, the better. Word spreads around. Word of mouth.
Absolutely.
I can totally see what Kurt from Nirvana was talking about, though, when he said he was too famous. He was probably talking about the fact that the people he didn't like and was singing about were starting to like his music.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Which
That's a big thing.
I could deal with, but I definitely wouldn't like.
Yeah. No, he was definitely quoted as saying once the jocks and the meatheads started getting involved in right in the front row of his show, what are you going to do, right? And that makes it tough.
Right now we don't really care about that because we don't honestly have enough fans to really start sending people away.
Yeah, we can't be
But
picky
once it
with
gets further on, and hopefully, once we get enough, they'll start being like, why the hell are you listening to us? Like, we're fucking making fun of you.
At the end of the day, right now, the people that are showing up to the Overdose shows are fans. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You guys have got a supportive crowd when obviously you guys are playing, and that's the kind of benefit of where you guys are at right now too, right? So there are a few
fans of fans right now, to be honest.
Yeah, and you'll pick them up as time goes by. There's just that's just the way this stuff goes. Without further ado, on SBS Live with an exclusive performance for us, we have got Overdose.
I just can't control. Maybe I
Big props and shout outs and thanks again to Overdose for coming here to SBS Live this week and kicking some ass for us. We appreciate the performances and we appreciate you guys starting off our year right here in 2013 by just really giving us some good answers, bringing us back to a kind of music that we have all known and loved, and giving us another reason to maybe know and love it again today. As you know, we've got all kinds of big plans for you here in 2013. You can check out some amazing acts coming up in the first month of our show. We've got political band from Sweden, Madness of the Night, will be here to discuss the issues in their own country and help relate them to us here in Canada. We've also got Throttlecaster still on the books and ready to go. And we'll also have This Thing and Singed still coming up here before the end of January. So worth checking back, as it always has been and always will be, and we'll continue to make sure of that. So be here with us for the rest of 2013. We're going to cover a lot of ground. We're going to make sure that we know a lot about these new acts that are coming out and that you do too. And after that, as usual, it's your job to get out there and support them. When you see them coming through your town, make sure that you're going up and you're hitting up those live shows. But bottom line is, SBS Live this week, we're here to stay. So we'll see you for lots more action here in 2013, and we'll see you again on Sunday with Part 2 with Overdose. Right here where it counts, at Sleeping Bag Studios on SBS Live this week.
Switch it all like this.